Red state leaders are going beyond trying to ban abortions in their own states. They're trying to stop some abortions in other states, like Colorado, which is now attracting abortion patients from conservative states across the West. Tonight, our Mark Salinger explains how Colorado is pushing back on a new law in Idaho.
A Colorado law signed earlier this year protects anyone seeking out an abortion, even someone who traveled here from out of state. But it only works if people are actually able to make it here.
What Idaho's trying to do is extend its reach beyond the borders of Idaho.
In Idaho, state law now makes it a crime for adults to help minors travel to places like Colorado to have an abortion.
This is a consequence that they should have foreseen.
Danny Newsom works with Cobalt, a reproductive rights advocacy organization in Colorado.
You had the Supreme Court saying, no, Roe no longer, those protections no longer exist. And the decision about the legality of abortion, access to abortion, is up to each individual state.
The new Idaho law is now being challenged in federal court, with Colorado Democratic Attorney General Phil Weiser asking the judge to consider a person's right to travel as the reason it's unconstitutional.
The idea that states will try to restrict an interstate right to travel to harm individuals goes against the very nature of our constitutional regime.
Weiser looks to marijuana as an example. While weed is legal here, it's illegal in places like Nebraska, for example. Yet people from Nebraska can travel here and get high if they so choose. The new Idaho law prevents people from even traveling to Colorado to take advantage of a service that's legal here but illegal elsewhere.
Idaho's law is a direct threat to Colorado's commitment to provide safe and legal access to abortion care.
More people are coming to Colorado to have abortions. States like Idaho want to stop that.
Colorado's law does not trump, in let's say this case, Idaho's, but Idaho's does not supersede Colorado's.
The challenge to this state law is not about whether or not Idaho is allowed to outlaw abortion. The Hobbs decision made clear that they are on a state level. What's being discussed here is whether they can limit interstate travel. If pretty much anyone wants to go out of state for whatever reason, they're allowed to do that. It's just with abortion now that they might not be able to.
So anecdotally, we thought Colorado would see out-of-state abortion patients. It's been long enough now that we actually have some hard numbers.
From 2022, we saw Colorado saw about 14,000 abortions last year. That's the most since 1985. And we know that about 30% of those, nearly 30% of those, were from people coming out of state into Colorado to have an abortion.
That's a pretty significant number. All right, Mark, thank you very much.